Welcome, everybody. Good morning, John Zager. 11 o'clock, Friday morning. How is everyone? It's a beautiful morning in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful morning in the neighborhood. Eastern slope of Colorado. Clear skies. I guess there's some clouds up over the divide. They look like they might try to make it in here by late afternoon. It's cool today for some reason. It's like 77, high of 77. I don't know what's going on there. I'm trying to get everything set up on our phone to be working today. I don't know if this is going to work or not. We're live, so this is call-in day. It's 11 o'clock, Mountain Standard Time. We have a couple bars. I'm running this podcast out of my home, out of the kitchen window. And I have two bars on my phone, which is what I use to record with. And that ought to be enough, I hope. Sometimes if I don't have enough, what do they call it, enough bars, it shuts itself off and the program stops. So if that happens, you guys, I'll just discard it or whatever. But so anyway, have it a good day. Busy last night. Had some business I needed to attend to in the middle of the night. That was okay. Things that I just needed to do for people, and that kept me kind of up in the middle part of the night, and then I came back and took some time out and slept early this morning before I actually got up and got going. So I have a couple different ideas, and I'm just going to talk about, in this podcast, and if somebody happens to call, then we'll answer the call and see what they have to say. There's always the chance. This is not an exclusive line to the radio show, but it's my line for my phone number, 970-443-5111. Sometimes people will just be calling me because they need to talk to me and they don't know I'm doing a podcast or a radio show. And we'll just bear with that, and things will be just fine. I have some, golly, just a minute, you guys. I have turmeric tea brewing on the stove, and I see it's boiling over. So I've got to turn that down. There we go. Thank goodness I looked over there for that. It ought to be delicious. Turmeric tea has all kinds of benefits to it, so I'm looking forward to having that. So anyway, this morning, I kind of wanted to talk about a couple different things. For the greater good is one. Kind of an interesting little topic. I noticed, and of course you guys notice this stuff too, but we both know that there are people that don't notice this. For the greater good. Yesterday, I'll just talk about yesterday first, and then I'll say something after that. But, so yesterday, I went out to try to find a few people that I was looking for that are in lack and struggling a little bit, right? And I found one of them. And I was able to, I don't know, what do you say, visit with that person for a while and find out how things are going. I'm just pouring my turmeric tea, you guys, don't worry. And had a great conversation with them, and the person didn't ask for anything, although I offered, is there anything I can get for you, do for you, or is there anything you need? But I could tell really beaten up from life and from just living out there in lack. So I felt really bad about that. And, but I reached out, and I can't say that I have a wealth of money. I can't even say that I have money, or I probably would have tried to see if the person would be willing to just take some money. And I felt really bad about that aspect of the whole thing, but not possible. But I did reach out and spent time and tried to empower and inspire and encourage and just do whatever I could do to make that person aware that other people are watching and care and are concerned. So that was good. And went on home and thought about it all evening and couldn't find the other person that I was looking for. Same situation, just thought I would, reach out. Try to do something for the greater good. And in turn, in the middle of the night last night, I get a call where someone needed my assistance, and I was able to go there. It was actually at 3:40 in the morning, and help this person out. It only took a few minutes, and the whole thing was, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 minutes in total length, and a conversation and all that kind of stuff. And I got some compensation for that. Not that I don't know. I wasn't expecting what I received, right? But it's kind of like, as you all know, when you do things for the greater good, the universe returns stuff to you. Not that you're even asking the universe for anything, but it has a tendency to, give you stuff back in return. And you've all done the same thing that I'm talking about. This isn't anything new to anybody, but it works, you guys. And it's our job, so to speak, to do the greater good, right? It doesn't matter what the greater good is. I mean, it could be a big thing, it could be a little thing, it could be carrying some groceries for an old lady, it could be helping out somebody in lack, it could be conversation with somebody who is isolated, who is not having contact with people for whatever reasons. And who knows, maybe they're sick, or I'm not sure. I believe we are of service to people. That's kind of our deal. And that's why I see us on the planet, is to be of service to one another. I always say, take care of one another when I sign off, because I believe that. I believe that to be true. I believe it's our responsibility to tend to and care for other people. Don't want anything back. Just want to do that. And I guess yesterday I did that, and the universe kind of paid me back. I didn't really think that was going to happen. The day before and the day before that, I did similar things. You know, the whole concept of for the greater good. You know, I sought out people that, again, were in a different situation than myself, and possibly I could be of some service in some manner or way, right? And as it turned out, not this morning or today, but a couple days ago, you know, the universe returned the favor to me and took care of me in a couple, 2, 3 different ways. I had no clue. That was, you know, that's not in the forefront of what I do things for. So there's the opposite. and this is the negative now. That was all the positive, right? And the negative is that there are people that do for the greater good for themselves. And of course, in my world, I mean, I have very, very specific people that I'm aware have mistreated or made poor decisions or not followed through on their decisions, not followed through on their promises, not followed through on their duties, responsibilities, their business. They just don't follow through other than for the greater good of themselves, right? And I don't know. I've never gone back and, you know, checked to see, you know, are they doing fine? Are they doing well? Are they struggling? Are they having a bad year? You know, has something negative happened? I don't know. And I don't really care. It's none of my business. The point I'm making is that there are those people who do the greater good for themselves. That's being selfish. And, you know, what I first talked about was being selfless. Selfless. So, kind of some thought for you guys today. I don't know, maybe ponder that for a while, put it through your noggin and see if you, in fact, do that. Try to be honest and find out if you're being selfish or selfless. They do not a lot of studies, but there's some real prominent studies out there on meditation. And there's a couple in particular I'm thinking about. And what they've done is they've collected, I think it was 8 in each study, of the top Tibetan monks that have meditated in excess of, 60,000 hours in their life. In other words, they're very good at meditating. And then they take, people that are not experienced meditators. You know, they don't meditate or do meditation very frequently. And one example, I'll just give you one, because it serves the point that I'm talking about here. And the point is that both groups were told to meditate. And the study went on for, I think it was a 2-week study. And people came into the laboratory, each group separately. And I think they were told to meditate for, it was either 2 or 4 hours each day on compassion. Whew. The people who do not meditate frequently, and just random people that they selected, just made an incredible improvement in their dispositions, in their personality, in their demeanor, in their stress level, in their blood pressure, in their calmness, in their negotiating, in their interacting with other people. They took a baseline of a lot of the things I just talked about, before the study started, and then a baseline after to see if there was any significant improvement. And it was very, very helpful, right? Some of these people were probably grouchy old people, and they were headed in the direction of not being that way when they were doing meditation each day for a couple hours or so on compassion. And again, the research is just science after science of the benefits of meditating, but I won't go into that. And then they took the group that of Tibetan monks that had, I don't know, 60,000 plus hours of meditation, and they were the best at meditating in the world, and especially around compassion. And as soon as they went into their meditation, which took them a matter of moments, to get into their meditative state, their brain waves just, hit the gamma level and went off the chart. They were some of, as seen on the monitors, the brain waves, the most loving, compassionate, caring, giving for the greater good people in the world. And that's how everybody was judged or, interpreted through the brain waves that everybody was hooked up to the brainwave monitors. And the other part about the Tibetan monks was that there's a way that you can measure, I guess, the happiness of people. And these people were just the happiest people in the world. Right? So, I guess it kind of speaks for itself, this podcast of the greater good. And what we do determines bottom line, happiness, of course. What we do determines our happiness. And that's proven in these research studies that I just referenced to. It also has a direct correlation to compassion. Compassion towards yourself, obviously, but compassion and for the greater good of other people. Which is quite opposite of the people on the news that are just not on that page, and they're constantly battling life and people and opinions and ugliness. The third aspect, I guess, for me when I think about this little podcast this morning is that it's a direct correlation to neuroscience and self-healing and the healing of others. You're going to upregulate so many genes that are going to prevent disease in your life. You're going to upregulate so many genes that just prohibits disease from entering your body, and in turn healing yourself of possibly whatever disease or illness you have going on. And in turn, you're able to send that healing energy to another person and have a direct impact on their healing process. Right? So I'm not talking hocus pocus, you guys. Please go back and listen to this podcast again. It's got very noteworthy information on how you might want to live your life, and in turn the benefits you get, and in turn the benefits that other people get from your presence and your energy. Make sense? It's the past week for me has been phenomenal. The stuff I'm learning about what I'm talking about today for the greater good, it just comes back to you tenfold. And I hope everybody maybe meditates on that for a while today and possibly decides to make some of those changes for themselves. God bless everybody. Take care of one another, and I'll look forward to talking to you all again real soon. Thanks. See you. Bye.